America's Food Fund ran the most successful fundraising campaign of 2020. Its GoFundMe page raised over $44 million to feed America's most vulnerable during the worst of COVID-19. However, the U.S. was only the second most generous country in the world this year. Measured by donations per capita, the most generous country in 2020 was Ireland, according to figures released by GoFundMe, a crowdfunding platform. In fact, one of their top 5 fundraisers of 2020 saw Irish donors giving to U.S. citizens in need. The Navajo and Hopi Families COVID-19 Relief Fund went viral in Ireland, where donors were eager to repay a donation by Native Americans to Irish suffering from the Great Famine or hunger in 1872. Making up the top 5 most generous countries in the world in 2020 were, in order, the UK, Canada, and Australia. The rest of the top 10 were filled by European countries. The most generous cities were often outliers though. In the US it was not New York but Silver Spring, a suburb of Washington, D.C., that gave the most. In the UK it was Londonderry in Northern Ireland, not London. Bundaberg was Australia's most generous. But during a year upended by a pandemic, not all donations were related to COVID-19. Justice and equality charities saw a flood of support this year. The most successful, by far, was the official George Floyd Memorial Fund, which raised $14.7 million from 500,000 donors, the most donations ever received by an individual fundraiser, says GoFundMe. Some campaigns bagged high-profile donors, like Russell Crowe, who made an unexpected $5,000 donation to a Beirut restaurant almost destroyed by August's explosion. For a Sotheby's online auction raising funds for the devastated city, Emma Stone, Jerry Halliwell, Mick Jagger and others have parted with an assortment of memorabilia. To Beirut with Love is expected to raise between £347,600, $459,748, and £501,200, $662,905 by the time the auction closes next week, the 15th of December. In another campaign helping the blasted city, a former TV chef is raising money to build ovens in the Beirut's poorest neighborhoods whose residents lack food or cooking facilities. This year's new records include the largest ever fundraising event, albeit an online one. In April, One World, Together at Home, raised $127 million for COVID-19 causes thanks to a star-studded lineup that included Sir Elton John and the Rolling Stones. But perhaps the most famous fundraising initiative of 2020 was Captain Sir Tom Moore walking 100 lengths of his garden to raise £500,000 $666,040 for the UK's NHS charities Together. He raised over £32 million $44 million, and was recognised for his efforts with a knighthood from the Queen. It may have been an extraordinary year for fundraising, but charities say they are struggling now more than ever.